Hey, CHEM 2P20 students, and Dr. Duncan, Ian Gordon here from the Brock Library, offering you some insights and some tips on how to complete this SciFinder-n exercise for this particular term. It all starts with the Brock Library, and here's our homepage. There's lots of things on this homepage, including searching databases, finding support, online tutorials, accounts. But if you click on the Research Guides tab on the right, it brings up and you find the chemistry research guide. Lots of things here. There's tabs on the left for to find articles, databases, book databases, chemicals and drugs, gray literature, meaning things that aren't really articles or books, data, materials from other libraries, and course guides. On the front page of this particular guide, there's the ACS Guide to Scholarly Communication, which is an excellent resource, which is just not more than style guides, but it shows you how to write from a chemistry perspective, how to tackle sensitive issues, and it also includes the ACS style guide. On here, I've included links to one, the CHEM 2P20 SciFinder exercise Word document you need to download or get from Brightspace. I actually included a PDF of a completed exercise that describes the work of Dr. Pilkington, which is in the chemistry department. Also, there's a PDF of the slides I'm showing you and a link to the video you're actually watching. Here's the exercise, 10 questions that you need to follow through and complete. It'll take you at least an hour, some people more, to complete this. Download this and fill it in, and then hand this in as part of the assignment. There's 10 questions that take you to different places, but the outcomes of learning and moving through this is to learn more how to see, search, and analyze, be critical about chemistry data, biochemistry, biotech data. It's just not plain chemistry. Explore chemical naming, structures, reactions, be better informed of some chemists that work within the Brock Chemistry Department. It's an exercise that takes you many different places. As I've pointed to on the Chemistry Lib Guide, I completed and have a template of what we're looking for in answers. Some have numbers, some have comments, some actually go find data. Some ask you to capture screenshots so that we know that you've followed through and learned something about how to search chemistry-related databases, and then something about a particular profile of a faculty member in the department. On the chemistry guide, there's an articles tab and a listing of other things like what's peer-reviewed, that ACS Guide to Scholarly Communication. Check it out, it's really neat. And there's only 4 databases here. Lots of databases in our library, but I always start my searching with Google Scholar. Web of Science Core Collection is a database that covers core journals and all science, social science, humanities, and the articles that are in them as well. It's really an amazing, and it's a huge database. But to think and act and search like a chemist, SciFinder-n and Reaxis does this. SciFinder-n is probably one of a few databases you'll encounter where you have to register. In addition to Brock proxy access, your letters, numbers, and your password that you use to get into Brightspace, you have to register for a unique, this is yours, username and password as well. Let's go back to the Brock Library homepage as well. If you click on Search and you click on here, we have a tab for Google Scholar because I use it all the time. It pre-authenticates you as part of the Brock community, whether you're here on campus or off campus. It's a pretty blunt instrument, and we don't know what it scans or harvests from, but I put in N. Pilkington as a phrase, and Chem rooted and truncated to put everything with chemistry to find things about the faculty member I'm looking at. And it pulls up some articles. Not only does it pull up citations to articles where you can save, you can cite. The cite feature actually works quite well, but doesn't include ACS citation style. Find related articles, find other sorts of things, but on the right-hand side, when you move through this proxy server, it attempts to find the full text in 1 or 2 or even more places for the article you're looking for. So it's a great way to search and explore, think like searching for articles, and also find the articles themselves. Going back to the homepage, and if you click on the Databases tab here, it brings up a list of all our databases. Yes, 452. The databases that are open, and you can use them from anywhere. There are proprietary databases like SciFinder-n. There's databases for data, databases for book, databases for articles, disciplinary and interdisciplinary databases. Omni is in here, and it wouldn't be nice if we had one database for everything, but with AI, chat, text, search engines developing all the time, they're probably more than less. They tend to consolidate themselves. Here's the databases that I use in chemistry. The ones in green are open databases, so you don't have to register for. The black ones are ones that the Brock Library subscribes to, but moving through the Brock proxy server. And for SciFinder-n, using your own username and password specific to you, you can explore and find information all the way around the world, no different than any prominent synthetic organic chemist. There's lots of databases here. Some work well. Some you may use more than one of these and recognize some of these in your particular disciplinary focus. We don't have Scopus in our library. It's kind of like Web of Science Core Collection. We don't subscribe to it. And Science of Synthesis is the only other chemistry database we don't have in our library. I search for things in chemistry or chemistry-related disciplines. I always go to Google Scholar first. Then I go to SciFinder-n. I search Reaxys because they overlap about 80% between SciFinder-n and Reaxys. And Web of Science Core Collection is always a great resource to check. So between these databases, I keep informed. I find when I need to, but again, you have to think like the database in order to get an effective search strategy, not to get too many results or miss things, or not to get too few results and miss things that are peripheral interest. Indeed, the art of online searching. So here's the databases, chemistry. 3 databases. Chem Archive is a preprint server for chemistry publications. Science of Synthesis we don't own, and Scopus we don't own. There's interdisciplinary databases. Some are open, some are not. Disciplinary databases you may have used in your focus, like Medline, Compendex, PsycInfo. We subscribe to these. They have some chemistry content, but they aren't core chemistry databases. Then there's specialized databases. There's lots of them, hundreds of them. PubChem I use all the time for structures. Base and Core I use to harvest web pages and documents from around the world. The SPASnet is a database for patents. Figshare I use all the time to find data. There's other ones all the way down to Sigma Aldrich at the bottom, which is a online commercial chemical pharmacological catalog to buy chemicals, but it has data that it's not easily found elsewhere. So lots of databases. SciFinder-n is what we're using today. Back to the exercise as well. Part of this exercise is not only you have to register for a SciFinder account to use it, but you have to pick a faculty member that specializes in organic, sometimes synthetic chemistry, amongst the ones that are listed here at Brock University. Dr. Dudding, Dr. Duncan, Professor, Dr. Metalos, Atkinson, Dr. Yannett, and Dr. Zalesko, who is really not an organic chemist, but he's department chair and really an interesting person, has taught this course for many years. So how do I do this? Well, you have to investigate and name the researcher that you're looking for. So you have to pick one. This is really important. You also have to identify what name they use in the publications and what initials. Sometimes certain professors or doctors who do research have more than one initial, use only one initial, or a different name. If you're investigating Dr. Tony Yan, he uses his anglicized name sometimes and his Chinese or Asian name at other times. So you have to be careful that you get the right person. Does this person have an ORCID ID? It's usually linked to their publications for everything they look at, so grab it. If yes, put it there. Check out their profile. And if you don't have an ORCID ID, it's free, it's open. Every registered or chemists, scientists, or someone who does research have an ORCID ID. I could go on, but you have to pick from these particular chemists on the bottom of the page. Question 2 asks you to think through one of these faculty members that are on that list. You have to pick someone from that list. The chemistry subject areas, the topics they research, substances, classes of compounds that they work with, and the instrumentation they use as part of the chemistry to get good answers to good questions as well. And list them there under 1, 2, and 3 tabs. You do more than one answer for each one of these. Not a comprehensive list, but describe in your own words what these faculty members use, do, and what they are. Here's an example of Dr. Pilkington's departmental chem page. It has on the bottom their research interests, publications, and courses they teach. But almost all chemistry people, since it's a team sport for their postdocs, their grad students, the staff, the analytical people they work with, usually have a website that promotes and documents what they do. So if there's a website there linked to this particular page for your particular faculty member, certainly look it up and you'll get more information about who they are and what they do. Question 3 asks you to go to the research guide and register for a SciFinder account and then affirm using this that you do have an account to move forward. Question 4 is pretty extensive. It asks you to look at this person's profile and find how many references publications they have. Find how them are in CHEM or chemical abstracts, because SciFinder-n searches the Medline database as well. Using the filter, finding a document that's in English and sort it and cite it as well. Filter and go through these as well and find information for each one of these as well. If you're confused at what you're looking for, look at the example I did for Dr. Pilkington. Question 5 is thinking like a chemist as you are. And unlike any other database, these chemistry-related databases allow you to search by structure, reaction, substances, and references as well. For this one, I asked you to find research about this particular person from the substances drawn in the structure, and then put the structure in as well. Question 6 carries on in this theme, helps to find a particular a compound that's organic in nature, to draw it, to write it, and then see how many reactions are related to this particular thing. Then browse through these and find an article using the filters in the database to find an article and cite it using ACS style, and find a patent. Patents cited by ACS style are kind of tricky, but there's examples that you can use. At the bottom of the page, I use ZeteroBib all the time, and I certainly consult the ACS Quick Style Guide, and remember, look at the ACS Guide to Scholarly Communications Part 4.3. It goes through how to cite these types of documents. ZeteroBib, bookmark it, it's free, it's open, you don't have to register for it. I put the DOI, Digital Object Identifier, in there for this particular article, and then at the bottom, rather than APA, Chicago, Trade Union, I clicked on More and unloaded American Chemical Society. And when I click on Cite, it cites it, and you know what? That's perfect. It's actually correct. I cut and paste this and put this into my assignment. Or you can do this for anything that you do, your lab or your reactions. You think and act like a chemist. ZeteroBib is really important. And ZeteroBib is indirectly linked to Zotero, which is a citation management system. If you don't use a citation management system to track your articles, your research, your ideas for any course you take, book a consultation with me and we'll show you how it works and download it to your laptop or your workstation. So I built a file called Chem2p20. I sent all the citations, the metadata, to this particular folder. I clicked on this particular article. I cited I wanted to use American Chemical Society style. I clicked on Do, and it produced this particular style. American Chemical Society is kind of different in such that it uses numbers at the end of the article. It's kind of different than APA, but it's their style they use for their journals and for their research as well. Zotero, can't live without it. Getting back to the questions, questions 7 through 10 ask you to comment. Is it a scholarly peer-reviewed article? What it is, look at the video. How important SciFinder-n may help you with this course. About faculty member's profile you kind of learned as you move through this exercise. And comment on one thing you've learned about SciFinder-n as you went through this exercise. And it's not, oh boy, this is neat, or what a great tool. Think about it from a chemist. It's what does SciFinder-n do that maybe other databases don't do? How valuable would it be to a chemist or to yourself? I'd be curious to see what your comments are as I look on the other end. Help is always available from chat or email. You can book a research consultation, and there's help from Chemical Abstract Services, which is part of American Chemical Society, which produces and upgrades SciFinder-n. You can do this exercise with somebody else, but you all have to pick a different faculty member. Copying and pasting works, but plagiarism is something we look for and don't encourage. You just don't want to be caught plagiarizing from a colleague or doing this as a group and handing the same work in by more than one person. When you log in, just as a reminder, you have a unique username and a unique password, so write this down, put it somewhere so you have a record of it so you can use it at any particular time. As you go through this exercise, and I find people do it within an hour, or they do it 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It's a cumulative iterative exercise that builds on previous work, all through 10 questions. Lastly, here's screenshots from SciFinder-n. Here's the front interface. It allows you to search by substance, reactions, or references. You can put in words, and you have different tabs. And on the top right-hand corner, there's my name, because this is my account. You will have your name. Here's an example of how I searched for Dr. Pilkington. I found out that she was cited by using the initial M. Sometimes her full name Melanie is in there. You have to figure out what are the iterations. And again, be careful if you're choosing Dr. Tony Ann. He uses different names. And I found her ORCID ID, so I ORed these together. M or Melanie or the ORCID ID and search to find things. But then you can also use the filter and find out how many times her citations have been affiliated with Brock University. So there's different filters that you can use as well. There's different pages for particular compounds. Here's the CAS registry file. That's how it's usually called in chemistry, which documents each particular compound, wording, physical properties, and more detailed at the bottom. Here's a SciFinder-n page for a number of reactions from references. And if you look on the left-hand side, there's different filters for different processes, where you're looking at reactions, chemicals, references, or different types of classes of compounds as well. On the right-hand side, you can sort your results at any time, and they're dependent on how you're searching. So always click on sort in different ways, and there's numbers for your search results. 7,505 is something you may need to write down as answers to one of the questions. Hopefully this makes sense. Here's the references page, and again, a number at the top, and different types of filters on the left-hand side. And again, you can sort on the right-hand side different ways to sort your results in different ways. Here's a citation. Everything in SciFinder-n, like any particular scholarly database, is built on research. Here's an article that documented research that was scholarly reviewed by Dr. Pilkington and 2 other researchers. This includes a citation and an abstract, concepts or subjects from SciFinder, substances, cited documents, and on the left-hand side is the DOI and other important information that describes this research. This research article was published in a particular journal, and when they put it into the database, they identified 12 substances, 7 reactions. It's been cited by 3 CAS or SciFinder-n publications since it was published. And there's references at the bottom. So this is a scholarly peer-reviewed article, adds to the knowledge, and adds critically to chemistry research. CAS, through this URL, provides excellent videos, how to get started, substance searching, reaction searching, reference searching, patent, and chemistry and biochemistry and biotechnology includes sequence searching from a biological perspective. They always have a help desk. There's a help email. You can email at any time. Probably not for this exercise, but you would ask them, this doesn't work, or how can I? You have experts with a PhD that will get back to you within the day. You also have a 1-800 number, which actually works quite well. That's if your password doesn't work or you're having trouble accessing it. There's someone there most times through the day and the weekend that can help you with this as well. Lots of help with that. Where else can you get help with seeking information? Well, that chemistry guide has all the links you need. You can always email the library in case something's working or not working, or in case you need help. There's the chat service on every library page. There's a web page for it, and there's that icon, Ask Us Chat, through most of the day, night, and even on weekends. They aren't chemists, and they probably don't know about this exercise, but they may be able to help you if you need help for this, for anything else with the library as well. And the last one is book a consultation. So it's a web page and an app we have on our homepage. If you click on it, it says when do you want to meet, pick a date and a time. Who do you want to meet with? You can meet with me or any other of the professional librarians here. Then it'll ask you why you want to meet. You could say, I need help with question number 4, or I need help in other areas, research. What it does, it sends you a link to this date and time, sends me a link to this date and time if you pick me, and then asks you why do you want to meet. It also asks you, do you want to meet virtually through Teams, or it's preferred, do you want to meet in person, and we can help you with that, to go over something one-on-one if that's your learning style, or 2 of you want to get together, book a research consultation for this exercise or for any exercise. Hopefully we can help. So there you go. That's a picture of me in Philadelphia at the top of the Rocky Steps looking back over downtown Philadelphia. As a researcher and a chemist and academic librarian, I was invited to provide insight at a huge conference. Just a picture of me in my email. If you email me, use your Brock email, and hopefully I can get back to you and help you as well. So good luck with this exercise. Hopefully it will help you to think like a chemist, be better informed of how chemistry research is done by faculty, how it may influence how you move through chemistry research. For this course, good luck and all the best.